everyone. Welcome back to yet another exciting episode of Let's Go Candid with Urja. Today, we are honored to introduce the one and only Ashi Gupta as our esteemed guest on this special podcast episode. Ashi is a prolific content creator in the realm of digital marketing and advertising. With a keen eye for innovation, Ashi has garnered a dedicated following by offering valuable insights and practical tips on navigating the ever evolving landscape of digital marketing. Her expertise extends beyond just online marketing as she seamlessly integrates social media strategies and content creation tools with artificial intelligence into her content, empowering her audience to excel in the digital sphere and beyond. In this podcast interview, we shall delve into Ashi's journey as a content creator and gain deeper insights of her experiences, strategies, and the wisdom she imparts to fellow marketers and creators. I, Tanishka Mehta, and my co host, Japneet Singh, are from Urja, the student body of the Commerce Department of Shri Guru Gobind Singh College of Commerce. Ma'am, we'll be conducting this interview in two segments. One is the question answer round, and other is the rapid fire. So, with your permission, shall we begin, ma'am?
Absolutely. Thank you for the lovely introduction, Tanushka.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay. So, the first question is, can you tell us about your journey in the world of advertising and digital marketing? And also, how have you decided to bring it up in the form of content creation?
Absolutely. I would love to speak about my journey. So, I started digital marketing and advertising around 5 years ago. And initially, in my undergraduation, I pursued accounting. But funnily, as I was pursuing accounting, I noticed that I was really good at it, but I was never interested in it because I always had a keen eye with creativity and doing creative things. So, digital marketing completely fit well because it's a combination of data driven analytics and creativity. So this is how I got started. And one interesting story is that initially when I was in college, my mom has a small business. So she told me that she wants to get on social media. So I started creating content for her on social media and learned so much during that process. So that was a great experience to have as well. And after that, I started like getting a lot of certifications in the industry. I started taking up courses in digital marketing, which helped me understand certain strategies that really pay off today in the world of digital marketing as well. So it was quite interesting. And for content creation, I started my Instagram journey about 1 year ago. It's just been 1 year on Instagram. And it's been a terrific and amazing journey for me on Instagram because the reason I started creating content on Instagram is because I wanted to help small scale and mid scale business owners learn more about digital marketing. If you see, the digital marketing space right now in the world has evolved so much, and my journey or my expectation out of myself was how I could give knowledge to people and give knowledge to new business owners to inculcate all these strategies into their business to make better decisions, to create efficient strategies, to build overall sales. So that was kind of my motivation to start creating content. It's been an amazing journey since the last 1 year.
Well, that's very interesting, ma'am. That's really fascinating. So, moving on to the next question.
Mhm.
Social media is an ever changing platform where something stays in trend until the next one comes in to take its place. So, how do you stay updated with the ever changing landscape of digital marketing? And what sources do you particularly rely on for industry trends?
Absolutely. That's a great way to put it across, Tanishka, because I know that digital marketing is definitely diverse and constantly changing. So, what trends you see today, next week or the week after, those trends are literally something new. And you or a person who wants to learn digital marketing needs to keep themselves updated in this field. So, for me, certainly it was a challenge initially because it was too tough to keep up with these new trends. But as and when I started gaining more and more experience since the last 5 years, I developed certain strategies to keep myself updated. So, speaking about strategies of how one person can keep themselves updated or how I did it, is I started following industry experts. So, my personal favorites are Gary Vee, Seth Godin. Then I look up to a lot of creators such as even Sam Altman with OpenAI. I learn a lot of their expertise, opinions on different subjects. And what I like to do then is kind of, go into specific details of all these things and understand and learn more about them. And the next way I keep myself super, kind of updated is through news outlets and newsletters. So I have subscribed to more than 1,000 newsletters, and interestingly, all of those newsletters are super useful. So what I do is, like, I take a day off in a week and I start reading everything. I make notes on what are the latest trends, how will this help other businesses, how will this help me grow my business, and I have a document made for myself. So I kind of relook that document every day and see how different tools can help us. So one of the best ways to go ahead. And my third suggestion for like keeping up with trends would be to definitely follow my other fellow content creators in India, in different spaces around the world. We have such amazing content creators who create, great things about AI, marketing. They keep themselves very updated. And you see, Instagram as a platform has so many creators now that you can learn from. So definitely following my community, my creators, and building that community around this space has helped me way much.
That's very insightful, ma'am. These tips are also useful for students like us.
I'm
So,
glad.
moving on to the next question. Ma'am, could you share a recent successful digital marketing campaign that you have worked on and also the key strategies that helped you to make it successful?
Absolutely. So, one of the most interesting things I've done recently is I worked with a North American tech company. So, what we did during the whole process is that they wanted to launch a new product. So, we actually started off launching a new product through an event where we introduced and invited a lot of influencers and experts in the industry and collaborated with the general audience. So we got kind of a mixed perspective about the product through these two experts and these two people who don't know anything about the product. And this helped us create a lot of content, new content on different people and different, target audiences that we are trying to cater. We use this to do a lot of A/B testing and, get our messaging right with ads. So this helped me understand how diverse the entire dynamic between an expert and a layman or someone who doesn't know much about the product is. And the key strategies I used in this is definitely influencer marketing, because we contacted industry experts and they're like, I learned so much from that experience, which was amazing. And the next way I did apply these strategies is through A/B testing. So if someone doesn't know what A/B testing is that I tested out different variables of the entire campaign, of the entire product. So it was like a competition between what messaging would fit right with the audience and what creative goes into like ads, or A/B test all my strategies from starting to the end. And the next thing that I really liked about this campaign is the creativity and the inclusion of AI in automating tasks. Like, we literally created all our, content through AI. We generated copies, we generated ad campaigns, we launched our entire campaign through AI. So it was really fun. We created a lot of content on social media. It was a blast.
That's great, ma'am. That's great. Okay, moving on to the next question. Ma'am, you have integrated artificial intelligence tools with marketing and other work streams to simplify mundane work. So, how do you see AI bring a change in the corporate landscape in the next few years?
That's a great question, Tanishka, because this gives perspective of how dynamic and diverse AI is and how innovative AI is becoming to everyone who kind of is in the business field and more. So for me personally, I literally use AI on a daily basis to do things or to get certain, understanding certain things and automating certain tasks. So there is an AI tool literally for everything right now. So in terms of corporate landscape, what I've worked with companies, I've noticed that you can use AI in every department. So since a person starts creating a product to the sales procedure, there are different tools that have been in the market that can be used to automate all these processes. So let's say a person wants to build a website, they can use curable.co, which is a new AI tool that builds a website in seconds. And then if they want to automate their tasks, they can use HubSpot AI to kind of learn the analytics of social media as well. Then there's Copy AI, which is a tool that is really good for copywriting. So you see, there's so many tools that a corporate landscape or that signify is very significant in the corporate landscape. So I'm very excited to see how this will develop, because one quote that I've heard recently is that AI can never replace humans. but it can replace those people who don't know how to use AI. So a person who knows how to use AI will definitely replace those who don't. So keeping up with those trends, even for an entire corporation, would definitely be like one factor that leads to success in the future.
Absolutely, absolutely, ma'am. Okay. So moving on to the next question. Ma'am, with your experience in the field, can you share some common mistakes that marketers make in their digital marketing efforts and what can be done so that they are avoided?
Yeah, so I would like to say that first mistake, actually, I would like to say of something I did when I was younger, is that I used to focus, or I used to think marketing is only about creativity. I never used to focus on the data driven aspect of marketing. Since I left accounting, I thought I am in a new field. So I can like just use creative ideas. I'm going to come up with the next best world's revolutionary idea. And it did not focus on like data driven, analytics. Then soon after, when I started learning more and more, I realized that okay, so even marketing is about data and it's about creativity. So one mistake people make is like not knowing that marketing is about just incorporating both the factors. And one strategy that helped me a lot is to improve my skills every time in analytics. It's a continuous cycle of learning. And the second mistake I think a lot of fellow marketers make is that they do not try to focus on the basics. So when I speak about the basics, I'm talking about basically they do not find their target audience, or they do not concentrate on finding their niche. They jump into a marketing campaign without knowing what the campaign's all about, who, where are they supposed to launch the campaign. So one note, I recently worked with a lot of creators and social media marketers, and I saw this, that they focused on the next best idea, but they forgot their basics. So when you talk about like a B2B brand, we need to focus on either LinkedIn, or we need to focus on Twitter, we need to focus on Facebook. But they launched their campaign on Instagram, which kind of did not work well, because when you focus on a business, you need to focus on the LinkedIn aspect. The platform was different. People live and breathe different sort of content there. So understanding your basics is something that everyone should get right, should start off with the basics and keep that going. And the third mistake I see a lot of creators kind of make is they do not evolve as much. Like you see a lot of creators, or a lot of marketers, if I can say, they kind of have a stagnant mindset that if they learn a concept, it's always going to be that concept. They do not try to inculcate new things, they do not try to innovate new things. They're so scared of failing. So one thing I would like to, one strategy that helped me with my journey in marketing is that I stopped being afraid to fail. I just put myself out there. I am okay to fail. I'm okay to learn, and be okay to understand how the digital landscape really works, because it's evolving every day. So keep yourself updated, and everything else will be fine.
Great, ma'am. Those are some really useful tips. Okay. So moving on to the next question. So, ma'am, you have worked across India, the US, and Canada. So, what are the key differences that you have observed in consumer behavior or the digital trends of these different regions? And also, how do you tailor your campaigns to resonate with the diverse audiences of these different countries?
That's again a very great question. I love the questions that you've, just come up with, because they're so informative and they're very different. So great job on that.
Thank
So
you.
one of so just speaking about how consumers are same around the world, but yet they're so different. So one of the key differences I see between someone in India or someone in the Northern American market is the sentimental value. I feel when we market a product in India, or have a messaging that's catering to a product, we focus on targeting the emotions of the consumer. So as in emotions where we are either making them feel love, belonging, community. For example, when you see a Domino's ad, I've always seen Domino's ads in India having like a group of people enjoying a slice of pizza. And it's it shows that community, it shows that people are sitting together and enjoying the product. When you see a Cadbury ad, it's all about festivals, and it's about festivity, where people are coming together and celebrating that occasion together. And whereas, my experience with the North American market has been like, when I see ads here, it's about self enhancement. It's about individual development. So when they speak about how a product can help a person, they speak about specific details of that product that can help a person. So it speaks about more individual aspects of the messaging is completely different in these two geographical locations. And I think it really works well because, it caters to different traditional values. So I always keep that in mind. I need to focus on what audience or what geographical location I'm targeting and kind of cater my messaging according to that. Because definitely when in my experience, whatever sort of ads or campaigns that I've run in the Indian market, they've come across as more based on communities, based on that process of making people feel together. Whereas in the North American market, it's more about the specifications, the more about the benefits of the product. So that's one key difference I've seen between the North American and the Indian market.
Well, that's very true and relatable as well. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So the next question is that, ma'am, recently the new education policy has been initiated at Delhi University, wherein students are taught skill enhancement courses like digital marketing and Power BI. So, in your opinion, how important is it for the students to learn these skills early on in their career?
Mhm. I am really excited about the concept of DU introducing such skill enhancing courses such as digital marketing and Power BI because honestly, I think this is going to be a game changer for our younger generation to keep up with the new trends and evolve with the new things. Now it's not only about engineering, doctor, it's not about only being those particular fields. Like they will see the potential of being a successful marketer. They will be, being a successful content creator. So there's a lot more aspects that have been opening, in this. And DO has definitely, helped in doing that. And one thing that I can say is that during my times of learning how to do digital marketing, whether studying my undergraduation and doing certifications in India or doing my master's in marketing in Canada, I've noticed that a lot of universities provide marketing courses, but they speak about theory of marketing. It's always about what is marketing, 4 P's of marketing, or like, who's the father of marketing. They don't speak about the practical aspects of marketing, which I think DO might do because it's a new course, it's constantly evolving. So they need to keep the students in trend, they need to keep the students up to date with all of this. So I think it's a great initiative. And one more thing is that since people or us as consumers create and consume content on social media now instead of watching TV. So we don't watch ads on TV, we don't watch we rarely see billboard ads now. People invest a lot on social media. So just imagine if our younger generation has the capability to enhance their skill in a platform that's ever growing, because social media, creating content, consuming content has become so connected to each other. I am really excited for the younger generation to learn about these skills and know like there's a life they can make out of this. And it's pretty amazing because, as I said, that I think marketing is a field where it's ever evolving and you learn new things each and every day, which is really exciting. So definitely a good job, and it's a great initiative by DU to do this.
Absolutely, ma'am. And we do see the education system revolving in the future now. Yeah.
Right.
So, ma'am, that's all for the question answer round. So, moving on to the rapid fire. Now, Japneet will take over.
Absolutely.
Ma'am, with your permission, may we begin with the rapid fire round?
Yes, Japneet.
Here goes the first question. If not Instagram, which social media platform would you prefer for marketing?
Absolutely. So, in my first, what I would do is find where my target audience lives. If I'm a B2B company, if I'm someone who sells B2B products, I would definitely focus on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. If I'm a B2C product, I would focus on more consumer based, such as Instagram, YouTube, TikTok in the North American market. So, these are the platforms.
And ma'am, I also think that these apps resonates more with the Generation Z we are all living in.
Absolutely.
So ma'am, moving on to the next question. What is the best book you have read on marketing?
So there are a couple of books that I've been reading about marketing AI, but I think one of the books that I absolutely love and recommend everyone who wants to get into marketing is This is Marketing by Seth Godin. I think it speaks about marketing so beautifully. So anybody who wants to like start marketing should definitely read that.
Ma'am, being one yourself, one marketing guru you look up to.
One marketing guru I look up to. So there's several, but I would say right now Gary Vee.
So ma'am, what are the 3 artificial intelligence tools that you regularly use?
Okay, so I use Copy AI for copywriting. All my copywriting is done through Copy AI. I used HubSpot AI for marketing and automation, so it has a great platform for analytics. And third is I use Tome AI for creating presentations and ChatGPT, of course.
Well, ma'am, I think that without ChatGPT, the college lives of the college students would be hell.
Really, what are the main things you use ChatGPT for in college?
Um,
I would love to know.
assignment. Like
Sorry?
most of the students use ChatGPT for like writing the assignments and the content work that.
Yeah, it's a great tool even for research.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Now moving on to the next question. One word to describe your content style.
Um, I think I would like to say innovative.
Okay. So, ma'am, we have noticed on Instagram that you are particularly curious about the tea and coffee preferences of your audience. So now I would
Mhm.
like to ask you, what would you prefer, tea or coffee?
I prefer tea in the morning. Sorry, coffee in the morning and tea in the evening.
Well, I see you having coffee right now.
I'm having water actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So moving on to the next question. What's the most bizarre or humorous digital marketing campaign you have come across?
So I think the most humorous that I can speak about or think of right now is Apple. So I don't know if you guys remember, Apple came up with their, the first time they came up with MacBook, they had this really funny ad where they showed Microsoft as this old guy who doesn't like, who's boring, who uses just an old laptop and who's not very tech savvy. And they came in like the new guys who are like very technologically friendly, who are basically cool. So I think that's one of the most humorous ads. I was really young when I watched that, and that really stood out to me.
Well, ma'am, it looks like that it is out of an episode of Emily in Paris.
Right?
Yeah,
Exactly. It's crafted so well.
yeah. So, ma'am, if you could swap roles with a different profession for a day, what would it be?
So I used to play professional badminton for the first 17 years of my life. And then I met with a back injury, and then I got into accounting. So basically, I would go back to those days and become a professional badminton player.
So, ma'am, what's the best piece of advice you have ever received?
So I think I follow this philosophy a lot in my life, which says that discipline works when motivation doesn't. So I definitely would follow that advice every day.
What's your favorite way to unwind after a long day of work?
After a long day of work, I feel like I love going for runs or working out. If you follow my Instagram page, you'll see that I'm always like out working out or running. So definitely that completes my day and that gives me more power to like wake up the next day and do a lot more things.
If you were to write an autobiography, what would you name the book?
So this is a very tough question, by the way. So I haven't really given it much of a thought, but right now the thing that comes or defines me is living in resilience. I think that would be the name.
Ma'am, if I see this book on our bookshelf, I'm definitely picking it up.
I'm excited for you to read it. I'm so
Sure.
excited.
Same here, ma'am. Now, ma'am, my personal favorite question. If you get an opportunity to time travel in the past, what are the two things you would like to change?
Very interesting. Very interesting. There are a lot of things I would change, but I think the two things I would like to change is I wish I could go back to past and tell the past Ashi to stop working so hard in accounting and like breaking her brain because that's not what she'll do and stop worrying about the results because she's going into a completely different field, a very creative field, and kind of join the digital marketing journey earlier. And then the other thing I would say is that probably I started creating content way too late. It's just been a year. So maybe the past Ashi 3 to 5 years back should start on YouTube. Probably I'd be a millionaire by now if things worked out well.
That's an interesting choice, ma'am. So,
Right.
yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, this marks the end of our podcast. Thank you so much for taking out time from a busy schedule and gracing your presence for this interview. Before we wrap up, sorry,
Sorry, absolutely. That's what I said.
before we wrap up, is there anything you would like to add?
I would like to add that this interview was conducted really well. It's really professional, and I absolutely loved the questions that you guys had. Even in the question answers round and the rapid fire round was done so well. Questions were fun to answer. Questions were very informative. Questions were very, on point with marketing. So really great job, and I loved just being on this interview today.
Thank you, ma'am. On behalf of
Thank
the
you.
entire team Urja and the students of Shri Guru Gobind Singh College of Commerce, we are grateful to have this opportunity to have such an insightful conversation with you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Japmeet. Thank you so much, Tanishka, and the entire team. You guys are amazing and a great job done.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.